All right, guys, how we doing? It's Russ. Can you guys hear me? Ryan, Jane, you guys let me know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you, Russ.
Yep, you're all set.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, guys, cool. So we've shut off chat for this webinar because I just didn't want it to be distracting for us and for everyone else. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask, there's a button right there in Zoom that says Q&A. Just click that button and you can use that to ask us questions, and we'll probably do a little bit of Q&A further toward the end of the webinar, guys. So give me just 1 minute and we will go ahead and get started. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So it's fantastic to see everybody here. This is going to be a really, really terrific webinar. We're going to be giving away more insight and detail into our internal processes and into our business than we've probably ever done before. So I think you guys are going to get a ton of value out of it. We're going to go over some really, really great, really powerful stuff today. So I'm Russ Ruffino. I'm here. My whole team is here, but one guy that I want to introduce you to really quickly is Ryan. Ryan is going to be running the Q&A. So I don't like to be looking at questions and things while I'm running the webinar. So what Ryan's going to be doing is Ryan's going to be kind of watching the Q&A. If you guys have questions, just go ahead and type it in the Q&A box. Ryan's going to go ahead and keep an eye on that. And periodically throughout the webinar, I'll check in with him, see if we have any really big questions, and and then Ryan can go ahead and read off some of those questions. All right. All right. So let me just figure out how to start the recording here, and we will go ahead and get started. All right, everybody. This is Russ Ruffino. Welcome to today's presentation. As you can see, the title of this call is How to Close $5,000 to $50,000 Sales with One Phone Call. And this is something that we have dialed in my company, probably better than anybody else out there. And what I want to do today is just come on and break down our process for doing that and show you guys exactly how to do it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to have you here. I have a feeling most of the people on this webinar know me. If you do, hey, it's great to see you. If you don't know me, and this is your first time you've ever heard me do anything, welcome. It's fantastic to have you here. It's great to meet you. So let's talk really quickly about who this is for so that you know that you're in the right place. Because sometimes you come onto a webinar and you're like, how did I get here? What's going on? So here's who this is for. This is really for anybody that wants to sell high-ticket offers on the phone with one call and have your customers thank you for it. That's the name of the game. That's what we're talking about here. So if you're a solopreneur, if you're a professional service provider, if you're a business owner and you own a company, if what you do depends on having conversations with potential clients and getting them to say yes, then this is for you. And it's especially for you. 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever it is. If you want to know how to do this and do this consistently, then you are absolutely in the right place. So here's what we're going to talk about in the next 60 minutes, and we're probably going to go about an hour today. I'm going to share with you the step-by-step blueprint that we used to double our sales in 2 months without spending more on ads. So we're talking to you guys about why pressure and being pushy are the wrong way to go, and how to close even more without those kinds of sleazy, outdated sort of tactics. We're going to talk about how to create a deep, lasting connection in the first 2 minutes of every call you do, so that potential clients like you, they trust you, and they tell you the truth instead of just lying or telling you what you want to hear. We're going to talk about why it's a total myth that you need to warm people up before making a $10,000 plus sale. There's a lot of people out there that say, well, if you're going to make a high ticket sale, you got to call them and then call them again and call them back and then talk to them again and warm them up for 6 months. That's absolutely not true. 95% of our sales in our company and in our clients' companies happen on the very first call, even if those sales are at like a $10,000 price point. We're also going to talk about not just how to sell over the phone, but also how to build and manage a sales team to do the selling for you so that you can be free to focus on other things. You know, there's a lot of us here where selling is just something that you have to do. It's just you need to be able to sell to run your business, but you don't really enjoy it and you don't really like it. And you'd love to take that responsibility and hand it off to some salespeople who really do love it and are actually great at it. So we're going to talk about how you can do that too. How can you build a sales team that just crushes it month after month after month and sets you free to do whatever you want, to focus on serving your clients, to go on vacation, to live your life. And I'm going to show you guys how to do all of this while totally hate selling. So here's my big promise to all of you. I'm going to go over step by step exactly how we close $5,000 to $50,000 sales on the very first call. And not just me, but how my entire team does it. So it's actually very rare that I'll get on the phone and handle like a sales call. I've got a team of guys. They're fantastic. They've been trained by us and they do a phenomenal job. So this isn't just about how to close high ticket sales. It's about how to learn how to do that. Yeah. But then bring on a team of other people to do it for you. So that's really like the ultimate, right? Okay, so let's go over some house rules really quickly. Just a couple things that I want you guys to understand before we really get into this. I want you guys to shut off distractions. Shut them off right now. If you're on Facebook, turn it off. If you're looking at your emails, turn it off. If you get your phone on, turn off notifications. We only have an hour together today. And as of right now, I don't have any plans to do a replay. So give yourself this hour to work on your business. Okay, I'm someone who's got a business that I love. We're having a great time. We're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And I'm just going to lay it all out for you. So that's definitely something that you want to pay attention to. So give yourself the gift of just tuning in just for an hour. I know we're all entrepreneurs. I know we're all distracted. I know we're all over the place. But tune in to what I'm saying. Now, I want to say up front that everything that I'm about to share with you only works if what you're selling is high quality. All right? I'm not teaching you how to sell junk at a high price because that is the road to ruin. If you do that, I mean, like, can you use the stuff that I'm going to share with you to sell crap? Yeah, you can. But it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. It's going to ruin your life. So please don't do that. You know, this is a system, an ethical system, a system that's built on integrity. And it really only works well if you're selling something good. Okay? And then finally, I just want to make it clear that our clients are extraordinary entrepreneurs. They're amazing people. They've worked hard. They really care about their clients, and they earned their results. So every single one of the results that I'm going to be sharing with you is that client's responsibility. They showed up, they kicked butt, they dialed in, they did a great job. So I just want you guys to understand that these results that I'm going to talk about, it takes work. It takes dedication. But if you can show up and be resourceful and be ready to win, there's some amazing things you can do in your business. Okay? Cool. So let me just check in with you guys very quickly to see where you're at. All right? You tell me, does this sound like you? Do you just plain hate doing sales calls with potential clients? Right? Who here feels that way? Do you find yourself hesitating? You're maybe okay with the beginning of the call, but by the time you get to the end of the call and you got to reveal the price, you feel that panic, you feel that pressure, you feel that anxiety. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever sat with someone on a call for 90 minutes and you felt everything was going great, you felt like you guys were connected, you felt like there was this, and then at the end of the call they just said, I got to think about it, and you lost the sale? I know that's happened to me plenty of times, especially back in the day. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever taken on a client? This is a big one. Have you ever taken on a client that you shouldn't have? Just where maybe you've been on a call with someone and you've had some serious doubts. Hey, I don't know if this person's a fit. I don't know if I can really help this person. You know, or even worse, hey, I just plain don't like this person. I don't want to work with this person, but they're here, they're ready to go. They've got the money, and you said yes. Maybe you shouldn't have. Have you ever tried to hire a salesperson? Or maybe you've got a salesperson working for you now. It's just not working out. You don't know why. And did you start this year with some good, aggressive, forceful income goals, but now you're like not even close to where you want it to be? And here's the big one. Do you feel like sales is a giant barrier that's just kind of standing in your way? Well, here's the thing, guys. Real problem. The real problem is that you need to stop thinking about selling and start thinking about enrolling. Not selling, enrolling. And believe me, there is a huge difference. But once you start enrolling people, and we're going to talk about what that means in the rest of the call, but once you start doing that, some amazing things happen in your business. The sales process starts to actually feel good for you. They have a good time, and you never dread doing sales calls again. It's an awesome, positive experience. You'll have total control over who you work with and at what price. So you'll never have to settle for working with someone you don't want to. You'll never have to just take the money. You'll never have to charge less than you're worth. You'll be able to work with the right clients at the right price anytime you want to. And you can bank, when you get on the phone, you can bank on closing like a $1 price point, and even on the very first call. Sales calls are going to become one of the most fun parts of your business. I know it has become that for me and my team. And believe me, nobody's more surprised than we are, but we actually like doing this stuff now. You're going to be able to generate immediate cash flow just by picking up the phone. You'll know for a fact that when you pick up the phone and you talk to a potential client, there's a really great chance that you're going to be making a $5,000 plus sale. So when you need to grow your business, you just pick up the phone. And you're going to have It's not dependent on luck. It's not dependent on superstition or the stars aligning or any of that stuff. A system that you can scale. So you can scale your business. You can hire salespeople, and those salespeople will be able to duplicate and build on your success. When you bring people on, they get off to a great start, and they actually start doing better than you. They start beating your results, which is a fantastic and amazing thing. So before we get into all that, let me just quickly introduce myself, because I know there's some people on this webinar that don't know me. And you are wondering, like, well, who is this Russ guy? Why should I listen to him? So here's the deal, guys. I'm the founder of a company called SalesOnDemand. And what we do is, our specialty is we empower our clients to build six-figure monthly businesses, and to do it well, to do it consistently. We teach all of our clients to sell whatever it is they've got on the very first call, and to do it for $5,000 to $50,000 price points. So what that means, guys, is that 90% of the people who sign up investing $10,000 plus in our programs within 24 to 48 hours. And that happens consistently enough and like clockwork enough that we've got a business that's bringing in $500,000 a month. And we've got a lot of clients that are at the six-figure a month level. So that's what we're talking about here, is how can we create that for you? How can you create that in your business? So let's talk about sort of how we discovered this stuff and the difference that this made in my business, because the stuff that I'm about to share with you guys, it's not theory. This is stuff that we put to the test in our business, and not only did it make things a hell of a lot more fun, it actually doubled our sales. It doubled our business. So the stuff that I'm going to share with you, this is something that's made a huge impact on me, a huge impact on my team, a huge impact on everybody that's connected to us, and it's some really, really great stuff. So let me show you guys exactly what this did for us. I want to introduce you really quickly to a key metric that you may not be paying attention to in your business, all right? And I know we don't like math, and I don't like math, and I'm not a math guy, but I want to keep this really, really simple. But this is a number that you really have to pay attention to. It's called earnings per call, okay? Earnings per call. And that's a real simple number to figure out. It's just how much did you sell divided by how many calls you did, right? Really, really simple. What's the dollar amount that you sold divided by how many people you talked to? Easy. So for example, if you spoke to 100 people and you sold divided by 100 people is $100 earnings per call, right? Simple. We all got that, okay? Hopefully that's not too much math. I hate the math stuff, but we're all on the same page, yeah? All right, great. Okay, so that's your earnings per call. It's the how much you sold divided by the number of calls that you did. Okay, so these guys right here, look at this handsome bunch here. This is our sales team. Okay, these are the guys that are doing our selling for us at Clients on Demand. On the left, you've got Peter. In the middle, you've got Jeremy. On the right, you've got Phil. Peter, Jeremy, and Phil. Fantastic guys, every single one of them. Well, in March, our guys, all three of them, were earning around $900 to $1,100 per call, okay? So we were doing pretty good. That's really not bad. That means every time they picked up the phone, on average, they sold between $900 and $1,100 worth of our stuff. So that's pretty good. We were doing all right. But at Clients on Demand, we like to set big goals. At Clients on Demand, we're never satisfied. I looked at this and I said, you know what, guys, this is great, but I think that we can be doing a lot better. I think that we can be closing more. I think we could be making more sales. And I think that we could be earning more for every call that we do. And I said, look, man, I don't want to spend more money on advertising. I don't want to spend more money on ads. We're already spending money on ads. I don't want to spend more money on lead gen. I just want to get our closing percentage up. What can we do? What can we do? And so I talked to my team. Now, on my team, I've got a couple of sales superheroes besides the 3 guys that I just showed you. Mark Von Mooser is our sales manager and our head sales coach, and he's been running our sales team. Now, Mark has over 30 years of sales experience. He worked for the #1 personal development company in the world, and he actually tripled their sales. So he came on and he took them from doing whatever they were doing to doing $800,000 a month just by going in there. It was an amazing, amazing thing. So I talked to Mark. I heard that that's what he did, and immediately I was like, hey, guess what? You're going to come work for me. And so he did, and he is a fantastic guy, an incredible asset to our team. And I also had another sort of secret weapon. This is Jane Jewell. And Jane actually worked for the same company as Mark. She was their top coach, their top trainer for 25 years. She's coached some of the richest, most successful people in the world, like the 4th and 5th richest guys in the world, CEOs, heads of companies. I mean, some really, really top performing people. She's coached them one-on-one. And what Jane's specialty is, she's an incredible person. Her specialty is creating deep, lasting, personal changes very quickly. So she can talk to you for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and completely change your whole perspective on stuff. So I had these 2 incredible people on my team, and we decided to see what we could do to increase our sales, right? So all 3 of us were like, look, we've got to do better. We've got to do better. We want to completely overhaul all of our sales training. We want to overhaul all of our processes. We want to start from scratch. So what should we do? Well, at first we thought that we could use some outside training. I was like, look, man, there's so many guys out there who teach sales. There's so many courses, so many training programs, so many different things. Why don't we take a look at those and see if, we could just maybe hire one of those guys to come and revamp our process. But when we dug a little deeper and we looked at what was out there in the marketplace, guys, it is really, really bleak. Okay? Every sales training system that we looked at had some big problems. Either number 1, it wouldn't support a high price, or it was a sales training system that just wasn't designed to sell something expensive, in which case that totally wouldn't work for us, right? Or it had a really long sales cycle. I know we read a bunch of books that were like, hey, call the person back, and then call them back, and then send them an email, and then offer to take them to dinner, and I was just like, that's never going to work, right? I'm sure you guys have seen some training like that, and it's just like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't want to have to wine and dine somebody and chase them around for 4 months to make a sale, right? So those were out. The other thing that Jane pointed out was that almost every sales training we looked at had absolutely no focus on beliefs. And as you guys are going to see in just a few minutes, when we get into some of this stuff, your beliefs determine everything. Your beliefs are absolutely everything. And there was no focus on beliefs. They didn't talk about how to fix your beliefs. They didn't talk about how to look at what you believe. They didn't talk about how that affects the call. Nothing. Just nothing. So we had to get rid of those. A lot of them use pushy, outdated tactics from the 70s and 80s and 90s. And, you guys have seen this stuff. It's that pushy boiler room, fake alpha male nonsense. Almost nobody was talking about integrity, which is critical to my company. We're all about integrity. Nobody seemed to be talking about it. There was nothing in there about building loyalty among your sales team so that they actually protect you and look out for you. Just about everything we saw felt gross and felt scammy, and a lot of it could put your reputation at risk, where their process, whatever it was built on kind of pushing people, bullying people, leaving a bad taste in people's mouths. And you might have been able to get away with that, in 1978 or whenever they came up with the sales training, because there was no internet. But today, we have the internet. If I have a conversation with someone and I push that person and I'm kind of mean to them and they have a terrible experience, what are they going to do? They're going to go on Facebook, they're going to go on Twitter, and they're going to just blow my stuff up. And that can really, really hurt your business. So just about everything we saw was totally outdated, totally incomplete, and just a mess. So we were like, look, okay, there's no one who's going to save us. Nobody. We got to figure this out on our own. So we put our heads together and we went through all of the calls that our sales team had done. I mean, hundreds of calls that we had recorded. And what we did is we started to hear patterns, right? We started to pinpoint exactly where the sale was won or lost. And what we did is we ended up creating an entire sales training system from scratch. Now, our focus was different than what other people are talking about. It wasn't like push them, get the close, get the sale. It wasn't any of that stuff. Our focus was on integrity. It was on things like making the sales process easy and fun. It was on creating a positive experience for everybody. It was on overhauling their beliefs, like I told you before. And so we did something kind of cool. We put about 20 clients through this training, right? But we also put our sales team through it. So I just want to take a second and point that out. That at Clients on Demand, what we teach is what we do. There's a lot of people in the marketplace that are teaching things that they've never done, they're never going to do. They, heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody who heard it from someone, and they've never done it. We're not about that. If there's a training that we give to our clients, we put our own team through that training because we believe in it and we know that it works. So here's what happened, guys. Let me take a second here and just switch my screen share because I want to show you what the actual results were, and I want to show you in real time. So just give me 1 second here. Let me change this up. Okay, check this out. Can you guys see this? Ryan, just sound off. Let me know if you guys can see this. This is coming through.
Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so this is Stripe. Now, this is the payment processor that we use. And not all of our payments go through here. Okay, like this is just our credit card payments, but we also accept wire transfers. We accept, some other forms of payment, but a lot of our payments go through Stripe. So what I want to do is I want to log in here in real time so that you guys can see the difference that this made in our business, okay? And look, I'm not doing this to impress you, and I'm not doing this to brag. I have to do this because if you guys have been on Facebook or you guys have been on Twitter or wherever you've been, there's a lot of people talking a lot of smack and just straight up lying to you about the money that they're making and the level that they're at and how their business is doing. And it's just lies. They're just literally making up numbers. So you guys that know me, you know that I never do that, and I'm more than happy to share my numbers with anybody. But for you guys that maybe don't know me so well, I want to just come on and do this because I want to show you that, look, this is totally for real. And this is what we do. Okay, so I'm going to log in real time. Hopefully my internet's not going to be all slow. Just going to hit open dashboard. All right, cool. So I'm logging in. All right, guys. So this is the inside of our Stripe account. Now I want to show you March. So we're going to go all the way back to March 31st. I want to show you where we were at in the month of March. Okay, so I'm just zooming a little bit here. Can you guys see this? All right, cool. So I'm zooming in here, and you can see the date range is March 1st to March 31st, all right? Now, during that time, we brought in $215,000 through this account. Now, you might think that's pretty badass, and it is badass. But the truth is that we were kind of stuck at that level for a long time. That's where we were when our guys were doing, $900 earnings per call or $1,100 earnings per call, like I was telling you about before. That's where we were, and we were stuck there. And for months, I couldn't break through that ceiling. I couldn't break through. So in April is when we put our guys through the training that I just told you about. Now check this out. Here's what happened. I want to show you June. So let me go 7/1/2016 to 7/31/2016. All right, now check this out. In July, not June, sorry, July, we put $446,001 through this account. And this isn't like sales, this isn't invoices, this is cash collected in the bank. This is completed sales. And like I told you guys before, just about all of these sales happen on the very first phone call. They happen at a high ticket price, and they happen even if the person has never really heard of us until about 24 hours before they got on the phone with us, okay? So we got 446,000 in this account, and then I think we had another like 60,000 come in wire transfers. So we were well over $500,000 collected in the month of July. Now look, you guys, I'm saying this like it's cool, right? I'm saying you're like, oh yeah, we did $500,000 in the month of July. I'm not that cool, okay? We were freaking out. My entire team was freaking out. We couldn't believe this was happening. Our minds were blown. We were like, oh my God. This is a huge leap, you guys. It's a huge leap. It's very rare. For most companies, they're growing their sales, they're growing their revenue by like 10%, a year, maybe if they're lucky. This is a thing where we doubled our revenue in the space of just a couple months. And the secret that did it is exactly what I'm going to share with you guys on today's webinar. So I want you to understand that this is a system that made a massive impact in my business, and not just in the money, okay? Things are going smoothly. We're having a great time. We're enjoying ourselves. Our clients are kicking ass. And I love what I do. And my team loves what they do. So, I wanted to show you guys this so that you can understand, like, look, this is something that's made a huge impact on my business. It's not just like some theory. It's not something academic. It's not just some random thing that we made up. I mean, this made a huge difference for us. And I'm very, very proud to share it with you. So let me just switch back to our presentation really quickly. All right, great. Ryan, everybody looking good? Is the Q&A box looking good? Anything that we urgently need to address, or can we save some of these questions to the end?
That was anonymous, but somebody had a question said, I can't help but feel that the bump was due to being on entrepreneurial fire. How much would you attribute to that exposure?
That is a fantastic question, guys. So here's the deal. This bump was with the same amount of leads. So in March, when we did $211,000, and in July, when we more than doubled that, we were talking to the same number of people. It was the same number of conversations. Does that make sense? We didn't spend any more money on advertising. We didn't do any more lead gen. I mean, yeah, I was on Entrepreneur on Fire, but so what? That did not create more calls for us, so it's not like we did twice as many calls. You know what I mean? I've got 3 guys on my sales team, and 3 guys can only talk to so many people. If each one of them is doing like 4 or 5 calls a day, that's it. That's all we can do. So that's what we did in March, and we did 211,000 or whatever it was, and that's what we did in July, and we more than doubled that. Does that make sense? That's a great question. Any others that we need to address right now?
Let me just look through here. How many total customers did you sell in each of the comparable months?
So in March, I don't have the stat right in front of me, but in March, I believe we enrolled about 20 people. Man, in July, we enrolled 46.
And do you offer payment plans or payments in full?
We do offer a payment plan, but it's not a very long one. So most of our payments come in within a couple months. Okay? All right, that's cool. I'm going to keep moving forward, and we'll come back and answer some more questions. But those are great questions, guys. Yeah, these are the kinds of – actually, I want to just praise you guys for a second, because these are the kinds of questions that you need to ask. This is how you tell the difference between the people that are for real questions, and I'm like more than happy to share these numbers with you and go over this stuff. So yeah, good stuff, guys. All right, so here's the deal. Remember our sales team? These are our guys, Peter, Jeremy, Phil. They're awesome. So in July, all 3 of our guys went from about 900. Okay, so that's how you know. It's the same number of leads, the same number of calls. It's just that we went from earning about $900 every time we got on the phone to earning like $2,500 every time we got on the phone. Okay, and the way that we did that is just by making that transition from selling stuff the old school way to enrolling using the principles I'm about to share with you. So the question I have for you guys is, does your business look like this? Now look, maybe you're not, obviously like doing $500,000 a month or something, but just are you at the point where you can pick up the phone and very confidently make a $5,000 to $50,000 sale on one phone call, and where you can have a team of people that you could bring on at any time who can just come on and do that too, right? And so how many people here want that? Well, if you want that, then here's the bottom line. There's 4 key shifts and to have a team that can do the same. So there's, if you boil down everything we did with our guys that made such a huge difference, everything we did with our clients that made such a huge difference, there's really 4 big things that we changed. All right, so I'm going to break those down for you now. And here's the deal, and I want to make this really, really clear. I know that some of you guys probably already have a team, but whether you have a team right now or not, these changes start with you. So all of these shifts that I'm talking about, it's not the kind of thing where you just go, oh yeah, you guys go do this. It's got to start with you. There's changes that need to happen with you. You're the business owner. You're the guy, even if you're just a one-man show, or even if you have a big team, whatever it is, it's got to start with you. Okay? So I just want to emphasize that right now. So the first shift that you need to make is to understand something that very few people understand, and it's this. Sales calls are a mirror. They are a mirror. And that mirror is constantly reflecting back to you what you believe deep down inside. And that's why so many sales training programs just don't work. That's why you can't just pick up a book and be a master salesperson. It's because there's deep inner changes that need to happen for you to go from just doing all right or from totally sucking to doing outstanding. So I want to talk about how that works. So we're going to talk about the call structure in a moment, because I have a feeling that the structure for handling the call. And trust me, I'm going to break that down for you. But you've got to understand something, and this is so critical. What happens between your ears is 90% of your success. Guys, this whole thing is mental. If you're getting resistance on your pricing, it's because of you. It's mental. If you're having people who don't, who lie to you on the calls, or who, tell you what you want to hear and then disappear, it's mental. It's all mental. It's all about your beliefs. So a sales call, guys, is right back to you. So you attract the kind of client that you are. And during the call, you're constantly giving the client tiny subconscious cues. So even if you're saying all the right things with your mouth, there's little things that are happening, little tics, the way you breathe, the just everything, everything that you do, your tone of voice, all that stuff. People pick up on these tiny little cues and they reflect it right back to you. And there's no faking it and there's no hiding it. So if you have doubts about your abilities, in your own life, but then you want to turn around and ask these people for $5,000, they're going to pick that up. If you're the kind of person who asks for refunds, if you're the kind of person who makes decisions slowly, that is exactly who you are going to attract. All right? I can't make that clear enough. So here's how it works, guys, because I want to get a little deeper into this principle, okay? When two people come into a call or into any situation in life, really, and they have conflicting belief systems, what happens is there's a crash, and a stronger belief system absorbs the weaker belief system, okay? So here's what I mean. A client gets on the call with you, and let's just say that they have some beliefs that are really going to hurt them. Beliefs like, I can't afford it. Beliefs like, I have to think about it. Beliefs like, I can solve this on my own. Beliefs like, hey, this big problem, I need you to help me fix. Guess, it's going to get better by itself. I don't need to hire anybody. I don't need to, I got it. So they have all these beliefs going on inside their head. And this is just 4 of them, but usually there's a hell of a lot more, okay? Now, if they only kind of believe this stuff, you got a decent chance of making a sale. But if they believe these things strongly, you have almost no chance, because you're coming in with your beliefs, and your beliefs are the opposite. Yes, you really need this. Yes, I can help you. No, without my help, you're not going to figure this out. And no, this isn't going to get better by itself. So they believe stuff and you believe the opposite. And what happens is in the call, boom, those two belief systems smash up against each other, and the stronger belief system completely absorbs the weaker. So sales calls, guys, they're not about learning the latest techniques. They're not about having a snappy comeback for every little objection. Sales calls are going to show you who you really are. And if you're not having a good time on your sales calls right now, either you're not selling, or you hate the experience, or you're miserable the whole time, guess why? The reason why is that you have limiting beliefs that you may not even know are there. And this is something that very few, if any, sales training programs really talk about. Or if they talk about it, all they do is talk about it. They don't show you how to actually shift this stuff. So let me ask you just a couple quick questions, all right? Now, you don't have to type out the answer or anything, but I just want you to think about it for a minute. What do you believe about money? Right? Now, you say to yourself, well, Russell, what does my beliefs about money have to do with what happens on a sales call? Well, guess what? If you think $5,000 is a ridiculous amount of money, you're going to have a hell of a lot of trouble asking someone for $5,000. You can say the words, sure. But if that just seems like a ridiculous amount of money to you, they're going to pick up on that, and they're not going to give it to you. Even if they got money to burn, they're not going to give it to you because they sense doubt in your voice. Does that make sense? So what do you believe about sales? Do you believe sales is this awful thing? Do you believe sales is this terrible thing? Well, if you believe that, guess what? It's going to show up in your calls. What do you believe about yourself? Do you know you can come through for people? Do you know that you can deliver value, or do you have doubts? And look, everyone has doubts. So I don't want you guys to think as I go through this that like I'm this like incredible like Zen dude who doesn't have any negative beliefs, because before we went through this stuff, I had a ton of them. What do you believe about your offer? Do you believe your offer is worth what you're charging? Do you think it's the best in the world? Or do you think it sucks? Honestly, what do you believe about your value? Do you believe that you're worth it? Do you believe that there's nobody who does what you do quite like you do it? Or do you believe that you're just one in a dozen, one in 2 dozen, one in 100 people who all are offering the same thing? Okay? Even when our sales team handled a call perfectly, they said everything right, they stuck to the script, they stuck to the process, they nailed it from an external perspective, they would still lose the sale because of negative beliefs. Okay? The client would just say no at the end of the call, and they wouldn't know why, and the client wouldn't know why. And if I asked the client, hey, why did you say no at the end of the call? They'd be like, oh, something just didn't feel right. Where do you think that's coming from? It's not coming from the client. It's coming from you. Because you have these negative beliefs, and they're just picking them up. And they're picking them up, and all you get to know is that they said no. And you never find out why. Guys, this is why. Does that make sense? Okay? So the bottom line is this. Right now, you have beliefs that you're not even thinking about. You're not even aware of it. That are sabotaging the stuff that you do. Could be something when your parents said to you. Could be something that you think is totally unrelated to what we're talking about. But man, it's killing your sales. So if you want to master sales, you want to master the art of enrolling people, you got to powerful beliefs, okay? Now here's the catch. Here's the problem with this, is that you can't do this alone. You just can't. You can't do this from reading a book. You can't do it from watching some videos on YouTube. Even I cannot help you do this. This is not my area of expertise. To do this, you need somebody with decades of experience. You need like a true master, somebody like Mark, somebody like Jane, to shift you. Because you go from being afraid to being confident. You go from hating sales to loving sales. You go from having all these doubts about yourself and your offer and all these other things to being 100% secure in who you are and what you do. And I wish that I was good enough at this stuff that I could just snap my fingers and do that. Honestly, like Jane is one of maybe 3 people I've ever seen in my entire life that can really do this. That's why I brought her on board, and that's why I pay her as much as I pay her. But she's made a huge difference in this because you just cannot do this yourself. You can't do it intellectually. You can't do it by reading a book. You've got to have a master go in there and break down and shift your perspective on things. It's just the only way to do it. So this is one of our clients. This is Amy. I absolutely love her. And Amy is a business coach for photographers, right? So it's kind of an interesting thing. Photographers in general don't really have a lot of money, or at least that's what Amy thought. So when she first came to work with us, she had some serious doubts and some serious limiting beliefs about what her market would pay and the price that her market would support. She was like, Russ, these photographers, they're never going to pay this much. They're never going to pay this much. There's so many photography courses out there that are so much cheaper. And she just had all these doubts. So we worked with Amy, we tore into those beliefs, we identified all these limiting beliefs, we reworked them, we shifted them around, and then look at what she said. She says, guys, I have to share. I've been doing sales calls for 5 weeks now. I have 13 enrollees. My first week was a flop, something like 15 calls and only 1 sale. The next week I sold 4, up and down after that, and this week I've sold 5 out of 6. We're finally figuring out how to be consistently closing the deal. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Russ, and so on and so on. So let me break this down for you guys. She first came on board with us. She did 15 calls. She didn't make any sales. Then we overhauled her beliefs. She did 16 more calls, and she closed 13 out of 16 at $3,000. That's the power of beliefs, guys. And she didn't do anything wrong on those first 15 calls. It's just that she wasn't certain. She had doubts, and those doubts killed the sale. And we switched them around. In the next 16 calls, she closed 13 out of 16. Amazing. So here's the bottom line, guys. Trying to fix your own beliefs or just not even paying attention to it is just crazy. You've got to fix it. But trying to do it yourself is like doing surgery on yourself when you're blindfolded. And you're never even going to know that these beliefs are there because we don't consciously think about it. It's stuff from our childhood. It's stuff from years ago. It's just head trash and bad programming that's built up over the years. So someone's got to come in and work with you and help you find it, okay? You can't fix it by reading a book. You can't fix it by watching videos. You need somebody who's a master to work. Is contagious. If you have doubts, they're going to have doubts. But you know what? Certainty is contagious too. If you have certainty, they're going to pick up on it, okay? When you have strong beliefs, it makes your sales almost effortless. And so we realized that if we were going to train our guys to do what we wanted them to do, if we were going to double their sales or more than double their sales, we needed to start with beliefs. Does everybody get that? Does everybody get that beliefs are like the most important thing? I mean, you can go into a sales call with amazingly strong beliefs, and even if you have no process or anything else I'm going to teach you, it's going to make a big difference. But if you go in there with negative beliefs, you're sunk. You're sunk before you even start. Okay? So that's the first shift, is to start with these beliefs. The second shift is to recognize that selling is dead from those old school BS nonsense sales tactics to the stuff that works today. And I'm going to break down our entire sales process for you right now, so pay attention. What are we doing on these sales calls, right? What are we doing fundamentally? Are we bullying someone into saying yes? Are we pushing them into saying yes? Well, no. What we're doing, the name of the game, is we want to shift their thinking away from lies, rationalizations, and excuses, and just to get them to see the truth. And the truth is that they need what we've got. And that's why I said at the beginning of this webinar, guys, that if you're selling something, it's got to be good. It's got to be something that can really help people. Because that way, when you come on the call, you can come on with some authority. You know that if that person doesn't say yes, they're not going to get the help they need. Things forward to make a difference. And we want to do this in a way that doesn't, set off people's buyer defense mechanisms, that doesn't freak them out, doesn't send them running for the hills, doesn't bully them, doesn't do any of that stuff that all those other sales trainings do. Okay? Now, when you do this successfully, what you do is you're actually empowering your client. You're not taking their power away. You're not beating them into buying your stuff. You're empowering them to see things as they really are. If you're a nutrition coach and you're talking to somebody who's 70 pounds overweight, you could bully them into joining your program, sure. Or you could just gently let them see, hey, I got to make a change. You know what? Yes, let's work together. Okay? So it's about empowering people to make a good decision, not by forcing them into doing something they don't want to do. I really hope you guys understand that distinction, because it's super important to us. So here's how it's done. There's 4 stages to our call process. So I'm going to break this down for you right now. Ryan, just before I launch into this, guys, because this is going to be some in-depth stuff, do we have any major questions that we need to answer right now? Or am I good to just move forward?
You can keep moving right now.
All right, cool. Okay, awesome. All right, so the first step is you got to get into what's called rapport. And I know this is something a lot of people talk about. A lot of people think they know what it means. I thought I knew what it meant. I did not. So this is going to totally change the way you think about rapport. Then we strategically uncover the problems. We figure out what's not working in the client's life. We figure out what's not working in their business. We figure out what we can do to make it better. Then we size up the client. All right, I'm going to break all these steps down to you, okay? But this is how it goes. Then we size up the client. And this is where you can actually apply your own standards. Is this someone you want to work with? Is this someone you don't want to work with? Is this someone you can help? So you can actually be picky. This system lets you be very picky about who you work with and who you don't. And then finally, we present your solution and give them the chance to enroll. So it's a very simple process, guys. Like, listen, if you know me and you've worked with me for any length of time, you know I'm all about simplicity, because complicated stuff just doesn't work. You got to boil it down. You got to make it as simple as possible. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, okay? Figuring this stuff out, guys, cost me hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. It cost us so much frustration, so much blood, sweat, and tears, so many just hours on the phone trying to figure this stuff out. But it's got to be simple, okay? So this is as simple as we can make it. Now, taking someone through this process takes about 4 talking, which is great, because that means that you can save your energy. If you do it right, it's going to be one of the most clarifying and transformative conversations that they have ever had, and you're going to end up with great, high-paying clients. So let's talk about how this works right now. The first step is to create rapport. Now, you have about 30 seconds to do this at the beginning of the call. The first 30 seconds of the call are critical, because if you don't create rapport, the sale is never going to happen. Doesn't mean that the call might not go on for an hour, might not go on for an hour and a half. It will, but you ain't going to get a sale at the end, okay? So those first 30 seconds are critical. Now, you know that you have rapport when 3 things are true. Number 1, client likes you. Number 2, client feels understood by you. And number 3, the client senses that you are looking out for their best interests. They know you're not there to just make a sale. They know that you're there to look out for them, and that's key. Now, here's the deal. When you don't have rapport, when you don't do this, 2 things happen. Either the client is super happy and enthusiastic and tells you everything you want to hear, but then they don't buy at the end, or they just clam up, or they lie to you, or they get confrontational and avoid the conversation. Has that ever happened to you? I know it's definitely happened to me. I've had so many calls where I was on the call with someone, I thought everything was going great. I've had people start the call with me by going, hey, Russ, just so you know, I want to sign up with, I'm ready, I want to sign up for your stuff. They're just telling you what you want to hear. If you don't have real rapport, nothing they say matters. And so recall, because nothing they're telling you is the truth. But when you can create real rapport, they're going to open up to you. They're going to tell you what's really going on, and then you can help them make a great decision. So rapport is more than just being nice and likable. I'm nice. I'm likable. Kind of. I also sucked at sales, basically. So rapport is different than that. Rapport is about entering into the client's model of the world, but without being seduced by it. Which means that you totally understand them, you totally understand where they're coming from, you understand the way that they think, but you're not letting yourself lose that frame battle. You're not getting sucked into their excuses and their rationalizations and all the head trash that they have. You're staying strong in your power, strong where you are, but you completely understand where they're coming from, and you empathize with it, and you get it. But that's something that's got to happen in 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, you need to notice a lot of stuff. You need to notice their cognitive style. You need to notice their energy level. You need to notice their tone, the speed that they talk with, the state that they're in, how defensive they are, how engaged they are, and how resistant they are to actually listening to what you have to say. That's a lot of stuff for 30 seconds. Now, when you're properly trained, it's automatic. Boom. You just pick it up. I know exactly who this guy is. I know where he's at. Great. Now I can work with him. And the thing is, guys, if they're not where you need them to be, if they're resistant, if they are defensive, if they're fighting you got to have enough finesse to get rid of that, to move them to where you need them to be, and keep rapport throughout the call the entire time. Because here's the thing, guys, the rapport is very fragile. It's very, very fragile. These people don't know you. They just got on a call with you. So at any moment, if you say the wrong thing, if you do the wrong thing, you can break that rapport. And if it happens, you got to know how to get it back. And you got to know how to get it back fast. So this is like a little dance that happens through the whole call. You get that rapport right away. You know, it's just, honestly, it's a lot like dancing. You're leading, they're following, everything's cool. You're moving together. Oh, you step on their foot. You got to get that rapport back. So unless you guys are totally in sync, the sale's not going to happen. Does that make sense? So rapport is a very deep, sophisticated skill. And if you get it wrong, like I said, a couple things happen. You'll only be able to sell people with the same cognitive style as you. This is a big trap that I fell into. Where if I talk to someone who was like super enthusiastic and high energy and, you know, visual person and all the stuff that I am, I could probably sell them some of the time. But if I was talking to someone who didn't think like me, who wasn't a visual person, who maybe takes more time making decisions, I was dead in the water. It was like the most awkward, painful call ever. I mean, have you guys ever felt that? So you'll only be able to sell people with the same cognitive style, and then even then, those people are going to have a tough time trusting you because you're not in rapport. And they'll either clam up or lie or just tell you what you want to hear, and either way, the sale's over. So you guys see how important that is, right? That's the first thing that needs to happen. The second thing that needs to happen is that you got to uncover the problem. You got to figure out what's going on with them. Why do they need your help? So the way that we do that is we ask specific, detailed questions about the problems they have and how those problems are showing up in their life. And like I said, you can't do this without rapport first, because if you do, you're not going to get the truth. They're just going to lie to you. So you ask non-threatening questions about what's not working. Our guys how to do is how to craft those questions very strategically so that you're finding out what's really going on with them. And as we do this, as we ask these questions, there's a few things going on behind the scenes, right? We're thoroughly exploring the problem. So like someone comes to me, they tell me, Wes, I'm not making enough sales. I'm going to say, okay, great. How many sales did you make last week? How many sales did you make last month? Where did those sales come from? And I'm asking these questions, right? Because I need to understand exactly what their problem is. But more than that, just by asking those questions, I'm getting clear on all the symptoms that they have, but I'm also changing their focus. Okay? Well, just by asking these questions, they went from not being focused on their problems and what's wrong to focusing on them, because they have to focus on them to answer my questions. And as I do that, what's happening is they are creating a lot of leverage. They're building up leverage. They're building up all these reasons for why they need to change. They're building up reasons for why they need to fix this. That's great. And it happens automatically, and it happens without some big confrontation or anything like that. So guys, when you get to this phase, we teach our guys just not to say anything. You don't say anything. You don't teach. You don't explain. You don't consult. You don't do any of that stuff that we all love to do on our calls, right? You don't do any of that stuff. You just ask intelligent, well-crafted questions, and you guide their thinking. Okay? So this is something we teach our guys to do. Now, once you've done that and you've gotten clear on what the problem is, then we can make a determination. We can size up the client. That's step 3. Do we want to work with this person? Can we help this person? Now that we understand what's wrong, can we help them? And so only make offers to people you can help, guys. Obviously, that should go without saying. But if you can't help someone, it's very standards. Who do you want to work with? Who do you not want to work with? Does the client fit your standards? And if they do, you move forward. And if they don't, you end the call. That's how you run your business with integrity, guys. And when you can sell and sell well, and you can enroll people the way I'm telling you to, then you can be picky about who you work with. So guys, real standards and integrity is the antidote to neediness and desperation. Like if you're absolutely serious, I only work with these people, I don't work with these people, guess what's going to happen? You're going to show up to the calls and you're not going to be needy at all. But if you don't have real standards, or if you don't stick to them, people are just going to sense subconsciously, hey, this guy doesn't really care who I am or what I do. This guy's just trying to take my money. You can't fake this. Does everyone understand that? So you have to have real standards and you have to enforce them. You got to stick to them. That's what we do at this phase of the call, where we size up the client. And then finally, we present the solution. So once you know exactly what the problem, overview of the solution. Okay, this is different than telling them how to solve the problem. Now look, a lot of the time, especially you coaches, someone says, oh, I got this problem and this problem and this problem. Right away, you go into coaching mode. Okay, cool. Here's what you do. Here's how you fix it. And I used to do this. I'd be like, hey, here's what you do. I think you should do A and B and C. And then you should do this and this and this. How does that sound? They would go, great. I say, cool. You want to work together? No. Why do I need your help? You just told me how to fix the problem. So you don't fix the problem for them right there on the call. You give them a high-level overview of the solution. You tell them, look, we need to fix this and this and this. You tell them, I'm 100% confident I can help you do that, because you're only getting to this stage of the call if you've sized them up and you know you can help. And you say, look, here's the plan. Don't go into teaching mode. Just specific problems and just go through them one by one. Here's another key tip for you guys. You want to frame the price relative to what you're helping them. Frame the price relative to what you're helping them achieve. So like, look, you say something like this. Look, all right, so if we did all those things, if we got your lead flow under control, we got new sales coming in, we had you attracting the clients you want, what do you think that would be worth to you? Oh, great. Well, I think that'd be worth $50,000. Okay, great. Problems, it completely pays for itself. All right? That's the process that we use, guys. So here's our client, Sasha. Here's the difference that's made for her. Now, Sasha's a great case study because she's not somebody that teaches people how to make money. There's a big myth out there in the marketplace that says, hey, look, if you're going to charge a premium price, guess what? You got to be teaching people how to make money. You got to be teaching people how to grow their business. Sasha is living proof that that is not true. Sasha works with high achievers who are just unhappy. They're just unhappy in their lives. They're unfulfilled, and she helps them overcome that. She does spiritual counseling, and really it's about giving them their zest back for life. So here's what Sasha said, and this is actually a little bit old. She said, just realized I've passed the $100,000 mark within 4 months of starting with Clients on Demand, 71,000 pounds. That's the first mission she had. It was her first goal, and it was unthinkable that I could do it in less than a year. And how quickly we changed. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Mark. Thank you to my whole team for believing in me and shaping me up. Thanks to everyone here, too. So the cool thing about Sasha, again, is she's not pushy. And since she first started working with us, she's brought in over $265,000 in new business in just her first few months. And it's all by using this process that I'm telling you here. Okay? So even if you've got something that's not financial, you can still do this. This can still work for you. So the bottom line is this, guys. There's 4 steps. Get in a rapport, uncover the problem, size up the client, present the solution. Now, there's a lot of detail that I don't have time to go into right now, but a process like this is without tripping our buyer defense mechanisms, without feeling bad about selling, without losing sales, without doing any of that stuff. You do this, and it just happens. It's just easy. It's like effortless. Okay? Right. Any big questions we have to answer?
Coaching, does it work outside of just the coaching model?
No, this works with anything. So anything that you guys have that solves a major problem for people, whether that's a service or whether it's coaching or whether it's a product or whatever it is, this can work. Because this process is all about, number one, making a connection with them, right? That's getting into rapport. And then figuring out what problems they have and figuring out, can your offer solve them? And if your offer can solve them, great, you present the solution. So guys, we have people using this to sell services. We have people using this to sell events, paper. management, we have chiropractors using this, we have all kinds of people using this, as long as it solves a big problem for people. Could you use this to sell a piece of gum? Probably not. But if what you got is something that can command a $5,000 or $10,000 price, yeah, this works.
So we're also getting a couple questions about if someone is not a good fit for the program, how are you letting them down? What do you say to them? How do you break the news?
We just say, hey, look, before we go any further, just want to let you know that it doesn't seem like it's a fit. We can't work with everybody. We can't help everybody. I think you got a great business going on. I think you're a fantastic guy, but I just don't think we can help you. So what I want to do is I want to send you some free resources, and maybe we can catch up with each other in the next few months. Check in again. You just present it like that, and you'll never have anybody get mad about that. It just is what it is. But it's much better to do that than it is to take someone on when you can't help them. Okay? All right.
I don't know if you have time, Russ, but Alice asked if you could explain the cognitive style. She doesn't know what that meant, but if you could go into that a little bit.
That's a big conversation, so we don't have time to get into that right now.
Okay. If you want to keep moving, I think we can.
Yeah, I'll keep moving. All right, so here's the other thing, guys. You get those beliefs dialed in. You get yourself a sales process that works. But then you have to condition it until it becomes a reflex. And this is where most sales training programs completely let you down. They completely let you down. They completely drop the ball. Because we looked at a lot of programs that were out there and we said, wait a minute, yeah, sure, they teach us their stuff, but that's not good enough. You got to practice this stuff. So here's the deal, guys. Knowing in your head and having a skill that is there for you when you're under stress, when you're in the heat of the moment. So listen, you guys, if you're thinking to yourselves, oh, I know this, I've heard about rapport, I know about sales, I got this, you're lying to yourself, okay? Because I thought that I knew this stuff for a lot of years, and not knowing it at this level cost me millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? We had our guys stuck at $900 earnings per call for like a year. Just because we didn't know this stuff. And if I had known then that I could share this information with them and train it with them and condition it with them and double the money we were making, I could have done that a year ago. Okay? And that would have made me an extra $2.5 million. Okay? So this is critical, guys. There's a huge difference between just having a knowledge or understanding of something and actually being able to do it. So again, a video course or book is not going to cut it. This stuff has to be practiced. It has to be trained. It has to be drilled until it's automatic. It's who you are every day. That means when you go to Starbucks, boom, you're getting in rapport with the person there. It means when you're at the grocery store, you're in rapport with the checkout person. It means that when you're going to the gym, you're at rapport with the other people in the gym. All right? It means that this stuff becomes who you are on a daily basis. This is why every sales program out there updated or incomplete, so it just doesn't work anyway. But they don't condition it until it becomes an automatic skill. It's always on and always there. So the bottom line is this. It's like this. If you can go on YouTube and you can watch a video about boxing, or you can take a couple boxing lessons, but if you don't train, you're going to step into the ring and you're going to get knocked out. So you got to train this stuff, you got to condition this stuff, and you got to make it a reflex. Like a champion boxer, like Jason Bourne, where the guys come after him and he's just like, bah, 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 and just takes them out. He doesn't have to think about it. It's in his body, it's in his bones, it's in his guts. This is what you want out of a sales training program, to take it to that level. Because otherwise, it's not going to get results. And then the fourth shift, guys, that's made a huge difference. Now, this might be something that you want to do, maybe something that you don't want to do. But the best thing I can advise you to do is to take this stuff, learn it, master it, and then create a team of superstars. So once you have this skill for yourself, you can build a team to do the selling for you. And that's a lot tougher than it sounds, guys. I thought it was going to be really easy, but it was one of the most stressful things I've ever done. People need leadership. People need to be managed. People need systems that enable them to perform well. And so, guys, what you have to do is you really have to build an engine for excellence. That's what we did. For a lot of years, we had our sales team, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't a fit. There was drama. The sales weren't coming in. It was a mess. And so we had to create systems and procedures for making it all work. You got to do things like this. You need consistent training, which means everyone's on the same page. You can't have one guy that went through one program, another guy who went through another program, a third guy who went through a different program. It's got to be consistent. Everybody's got to be working from the same model. You need to build a culture where things like integrity matter, where they're number one. You need to hire the right people and know how to find and identify them. You got to measure everything they're doing. How many calls? right? How many people did they talk to? How many did they close? How many did they miss? All that stuff. You got to track that stuff every day. You need to coach them every day, where every day they're getting feedback on what's working and what's not working so they can improve constantly. You got to make them believe that what you are and what you've got is the very best in the world. And you got to structure your incentives so that those incentives work. Now, that's a lot of stuff, guys. It's a lot of stuff. So in order to do that without like wanting to jump off a cliff, we had to develop some really simple systems to do those things. I didn't want it to cost a lot of money. I didn't want it to cost a lot of time. But one of the things that we baked into this system is we just came up with a system to do all these things. So it only takes us like 20 minutes a day, like a half an hour a day, maybe, to do this stuff. And yeah, we broke things, we made mistakes, but right now, today, the team is on fire. $2,500 earnings per call and just killing it. So guys, listen, it goes way beyond money. A team that is led and managed properly is a team that turns your business into a joy. I love our guys. I love our sales team. I love working with them every day. They protect us. They look out for us. They're amazing with the clients. They're just fantastic guys. And guys, listen, we're making all these sales, but guess what? We also have no refunds. We have like no cancellation. We have nobody who gets buyer's remorse. We have the right people coming to the program, and it's a lot of fun again. Okay, so if you'd asked me a year ago, Russ, do you love what you do? I would have been like, oh yeah, things are good, we're having fun, making money, but well, Russ, do you really love it? I would have been like, no, it's really stressful and it kind of sucks. Today, I can honestly say that I love what I do. And the reason I love what I do is because we've got a system that's smooth as silk, and our guys are using it, and everybody's working together, and everybody wins. The clients, the guys, everybody. So guys, just to recap, here is what you need. These are the 4 things that need to change for you if you want to make these consistent high-ticket sales. Number 1, you need those rock-solid beliefs, like we talked about, and that's something you really can't overhaul yourself. You got to have someone help you who's a master. You need to enroll people instead of selling them, and I'll walk you through our process for doing that. You got to condition this stuff so that it is automatic. You just do it. You've practiced it a million times. You pick up the phone, boom. The skill is just there for you. And then if you want to, when you're ready, you delegate this all to someone else. You build a superstar team so that you never have to do the selling yourself. This is how we've gotten to $500,000 a month and counting. And I can guarantee you by the end of the year, we're probably going to be a lot closer to $1 million a month. That's an insane number, guys. It's really crazy to say that to you. But we've gone through so much blood and sweat and tears and frustration that it's awesome that all these things are coming together and it's working great. And this is what you need to do it. So even if your goal isn't to get to like 500,000 a month or like, big, crazy number like that, I got to tell you, your business depends on selling, right? Even if you're like, Russ, I want to get to 10,000 a month, or Russ, I want to get to 15,000 a month. Great. Guess how you're going to get there? You're going to sell stuff. So you've got to master these skills. Whether you want to get to $500,000 a month or just 20,000 a month or whatever it is, you got to master these skills. So here's the question that I want you to ask yourself right now. I want you to ask yourself this very seriously, because this is what I had to ask myself when we first got into this. How much is it costing you not to know this stuff? How much is it costing you not to have this skill? And believe it or not, guys, that's not a rhetorical question. We can actually calculate what that cost is. So here's what I want you to do. What is your exact goal income? What's your exact monthly income that you want to be bringing in every month? What is that number? Think of it, type it in, write it down, whatever you want to do. Get that number, okay? Now I want you to look at this. What did you earn last month? What was the exact number that you brought in? And then what I want you to do is subtract what you actually made from what you want to be making, okay? So for example, if you want to make $100,000 a month and last month you only made $10,000, the difference is $90,000, right? $90,000 a month. This is the way that I looked at my business, guys. I knew that we could get our sales guys from, $1,100 earnings per call to $2,500 earnings per call. I knew that I could double my income, and I knew that not knowing that was costing me a couple $100,000 a month, guys. So what is that number for you? What do you want to be making, and what are you making? Subtract those two numbers. Now look at that number. Look at the difference, whether it's $90,000 or $80,000 or whatever it is. That number is your monthly tuition to the University of Not Knowing. That is what it is costing you and your family every month not to have this skill. That's it. If you want to be making $100,000 a month and you're only making 10, That means every month you're losing $90,000 that you could be making if you had mastered the skill. So would now be a good time to do something about it? So look, guys, all of you have a choice. Everybody right now has a choice. You can either keep doing things the way that you've been doing them, where you're struggling on sales calls, you're not getting the clients that you want, you're having a difficult time, you're hating experience, they're hating experience, and it's just not working, you know? And you can try to figure out this stuff out yourself, but it took me years, you know, and I'm a pretty smart guy. Or if you're done reinventing the wheel and you want to just learn how to do this and learn how to do it right and just nail it from start to finish and take on a system that is proven to work, not just for us and our client, but our clients too. And here's what we have for you. We have a program called Sales on Demand. Okay, this is the exact program that we put my sales team through. So that's that old expression, we eat our own dog food. Like the stuff that we teach is the stuff that we do. This is the program that we put our guys through. All right, it's an 8-week workshop where we reveal our entire system for enrolling clients over the phone, and we don't just teach it to you, we workshop it with you. We, like I said, we condition it, we drill it until you have a real skill. And if we didn't do that, believe me, my guys would not have gotten results because it would have just been theory. We had to give them the theory, but then we had to teach them how to execute and condition it. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to show you how to sell $5,000 plus offers on the very first call with no resistance, so that selling is natural as breathing. It could be an event you're selling. It could be a workshop. It could be an online program. It could be a product. It could be anything. As long as it's got a major impact price. And we're going to show you how to do that on one call so that you can create instant connection on the phone with everybody you talk to, so you can lead your clients through a sales process that actually helps them every step of the way. It's not pushing them, not bullying them, none of that stuff. You're helping them. You're going to completely eliminate refunds, cancellations, buyer's remorse, all that stuff that happens when you don't have a good sales process. You're going to be able to work with the exact clients you want to work with, so you can make $5,000 to $50,000 sales on the very first call, and so that you can finally hit and surpass those income goals where you don't have to lose that $90,000 a month, $20,000 a month, or whatever it is that you're giving up right now. And basically so that you can create total freedom in your life. Selling should be a joy. It shouldn't be a chore. So here's how it works. You get one training per week for 8 weeks. Okay, so the first week we're going to do the belief overhaul like I talked about. So guys, if you've ever lost a sale that you should have closed, if you have any fear of selling, that's where it all starts. And that's the very first thing that we do. Mark, Jane, we work with you in depth to build a belief system that's strong and powerful and attracts the right people. Week 2, we cover pre-call prep. So those of you guys that are maybe spending a lot of time talking to the wrong people, we can help you how to figure out who's a good person and who's not a good person. So we eliminate that wasted time so that you can talk to the right prospects and you can work with who you want. Week 3, we do a deep dive into the same sales system to close these sales like clockwork. And what we're actually going to do there, guys, and this is really important, is we're going to co-develop a sales script with you that's perfect for your offer. So we're going to teach you these principles, but whatever it is that you're selling, we're going to help you come up with a script that you're going to use to sell it, right? And we'll look at it, we'll refine it, we'll make it great, we'll do it with you. Week 4, we dive into the first step. That's rapport. So this is how to disarm the buyer defense mechanism. So create resistance to the sale. Week 5, we're going to show you how to uncover the problems. Remember, that was the second step. We're going to show you exactly how to do that. How do you craft your questions? How do you design them? How do you do it so that you're very subtly, very gently shifting your focus so that they want to work with you? Week 6, we're going to talk about what are your standards? Who do you want to work with? Who do you not want to work with? How can you make sure that everyone who enters your program is a perfect fit for what you've got? And if they're not, what do you do about it? Week 7, we're going to show you how to close the deal. We're going to talk about selling the solution. This is how to craft your pitch so that whatever you've got, they see it as much more valuable than what you're charging. And then week 8, we're going to show you how to crush objections. So these are the exact patterns that we use to deal with objections. And sometimes we deal with them before we even hear them. You know, we're so sensitive to what's going on at the beginning of the call that we can hear an objection before they say it. Where they say a little something at the beginning of the call and we go, oh, okay, we're going to get that objection at the end, so let's deal with it now. So we show you guys exactly how to do that and how to make sure that there's zero regret, zero fear, zero buyer's remorse, when people invest with you. They feel great about the purchase, okay? Now, in addition to all that, right, in addition to those 8 weekly sessions, you're going to get a one-on-one call with my team. We'll get on the phone with you, and we'll do that belief inventory. We'll talk about negative beliefs, obstacles, anything standing in your way. In addition to the 8 sessions, we also have 8 Q&A and role play calls every Friday. We're going to get on a call with you. We're going to condition this stuff. We're going to role play it. We're going to drill it so that it's totally automatic. And like I said, we're going to fine tune your sales script and make it work like magic so it's a perfect fit for your offer. And we will help you write it from scratch. Okay? Now, what's our goal? Our goal is real simple. It's to turn you into a master and a master call closer at a $5,000 price point, and to lay the foundation for a 6-figure per month business if that's what you want. And what that means is the clients you want at the price you want, anytime you want. So if you are a professional salesperson, this is going to massively increase your close rate, okay? If you are a coach or a solopreneur or whatever, this is going to massively increase the number of clients you can enroll and the prices you can command. And if you're like a CEO or business owner where you have a big team, this is going to revolutionize the way your sales team works and the way that they handle themselves, guys. So here's the transformation. This is the last sales training you will ever need to invest in. By the time the 8 weeks are over, selling will be as natural as breathing. So let's talk about what this is worth. About what we teach you or whatever. It's about what we actually get you to do. So let's say that you or somebody on your team talks to 40 prospects, right? You do 40 calls. Let's say you enroll 30% of them at $5,000. That's 12 new clients, $60,000 in sales. Now, if you do that every month, you're making $720,000 a year. If you do that every week, you're making over 2.9 million a year. Okay? And those aren't pie in the sky numbers, guys. I mean, that's pretty good. So this is what we're looking at. So if I priced this program based on what you would earn in a month, I would be charging about $60,000 for it. Okay? If I priced this program based on what you would earn in a week, I'd be charging $15,000 for it. But what we're going to do is we're going to price it so that you make a profit with like your very first sale. So our price for this program is just $48.60. And if you want to, we have some payment plans. You can break that up, whatever you want to do. But our price is $48.60. So here's what that means. If you're selling a high-ticket offer, here's the big question. If you master what we show you, could you make one sale? That's the question you need to ask yourself. If you master all this stuff I'm talking about, the rapport, uncovering the problem, sizing up the client, getting your beliefs in order, all that stuff, could you make one sale at $5,000? And if you could, then this program more than pays for itself. You make one sale, you're profitable. You make 2 sales, you've doubled your investment, and so on. All right? So I tried to make this as big of a no-brainer as I possibly could. If you're somebody who enrolls clients in any capacity, or who has to sell yourself in any capacity, this is going to make a huge difference in your life. Now, here's an optional upgrade, okay? There's one thing that's an upgrade if you want it, and we call this the CEO package. Now, this isn't going to be right for all of you, because a lot of you guys are solopreneurs. You're not interested in building a sales team. But if you are interested in building a sales team, or especially if you have a sales team now and they're not doing, that's not working out, you really need this. So once you master the one call closing, right? The next step is to build a team of people to do the selling for you so you can focus on serving your clients and enjoying your life. Our sales team brings in $500,000 a month, like I said, $2,500 earnings per call. I personally do not have to talk to anybody if I don't want to. This machine happens whether I'm on a beach or in the Dominican Republic or wherever I am. It just works, okay? That's what I want for you. So if you want to create your own sales team, right, we have 3 additional trainings you can add on if you want to. The first training is about hiring. This is how we attract A players onto our team and how we do it consistently. These are people that are going to earn the most money for every lead and protect your business. That's a big one, guys. You don't want to just get these hardcore closers. You want guys that have integrity, guys that are going to look out for you. It's not always easy to spot that in a job interview because everybody tries to put on their best face. We'll show you how to tell the people who have integrity from the people who don't from the very first meeting. We're going to show you guys how to create peak performance in a sales team. So this is our entire system for doing all that stuff we talked about, coaching these guys, measuring everything, watching everything, all that stuff. We're going to show you how we manage our entire team in like an hour a day. And then we're also going to show you how to run the machine. Now, this is once you get these systems up and running, how do you keep it going? How do you keep your team loyal? How do you keep them motivated? How do you make it so that they're always improving? So guys, if you're running a team, this is everything you need. We're also going to give you contracts and agreements that we use that you can model if you want to. We're going to show you our tracking systems, our spreadsheets, everything we use to track our things. We're going to show you the manuals that we use to train our guys. And here's the great thing, guys. We are going to give you first crack at the A players who come through this program. So we have a lot of professional salespeople who come through Sales on Demand. They come through this program. They get trained. Guess what, guys? We have a lot of clients who need salespeople, and we will assign those people to you if we feel like, that they're really, really good. So that means if you are a business owner, you could probably fill your whole sales team for free, with people that have been personally trained by us to be real closers. And if you're a professional salesperson, you really need to jump on this, because we've got a ton of people, a ton of clients who have tons of lead flow and really need salespeople. So it's a win-win all the way around. Now, the price for the CEO upgrade is $88.60. And again, we also have a payment plan on that too. So you got two options. If you just want to learn how to close over the phone and you want to learn our system for doing that, you want the 8, conditioning sessions where we really get into this stuff with you, you want all that stuff, that's $48.60. But if you want all the training about building your sales team in addition to that other stuff, that's $88.60 for everything. So those are the two options. Now look, you guys, you cannot enroll in this program now. All right, let me say that again. You cannot enroll in this program without speaking to me or speaking to Mark first before you do. Okay? This program is not for everyone. Okay, there tends to be 3 kinds of people that show up to this kind of thing, right? You got your freeple. These are the people that want everything for free. They're the people that I see copying my webinars and copying my ads and copying my stuff because they just don't want to learn how to do it right. And they're also the same people that are broke week after week after week, right? Those are the freeple. If that's you, you probably already jumped off the webinar by now. The second group of people are the sheeple. Now, these are the people that actually buy the training. They'll give you the money, which is cool. They'll sign up. But once they're in there, they don't take action. They just want to gather information. They just want to learn. Now, that's fine, but it's not the kind of people we like to work with. The people we like to work with are professionals. And this means that you're going to spend what it takes. You're going to show up, you're going to learn this stuff, you're going to put it into practice, and you're going to get amazing results. And you understand that the biggest cost in your business is the skills that you don't have. The biggest cost in your business is the stuff that's missing. Okay? So this is who we want. We want professionals. If that's you, and you're interested in doing this, and you want to make this happen, and you want the 8 weeks of training, you want to be able to close $5,000 to $50,000 calls with one phone call, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to russruffino.com/sales. All right? That is going to open up a link to my calendar where you can book a quick 15-minute call with me. We're going to jump on a call together. We're going to, talk about this. If I feel like you're a good fit for this, I'm going to let you into the program. Okay? So you know the price. You know that for the 8-week training is $48.60. If you want the additional CEO upgrade, that's $88.60. So you know the price. This is for people who are committed, not for people who are curious. If you just have a few questions, no problem. Book a call. But don't book a call just to talk to me. Don't book a call to get some free advice. Book a call because you want to be a part of this, because you know that this can make a massive transformation in your business, okay? So go there right now, russruffino.com/sales, and book whatever time is available that makes sense for you, okay? We're going to try to have this whole thing done with all the calls done and everyone enrolled by the day after. russruffino.com/sales. Book a call with me. It's either going to be with me or it's going to be with Mark, the gentleman I mentioned before who runs my sales team. It's one of us. It's not going to be one of my sales guys. They're too busy doing their thing. It'll be with me or it'll be with him. And we'll break this down for you, put our heads together, and we'll see if this is a fit. Now, guys, like I told you, we didn't just put our sales team through this training. We put a bunch of clients through it, too. Now, here's what they had to say. This is an amazing gal named Sarah. Here's what she said. She said, guys, I made my first sale by myself on the phone today. All 7 other Russ-style sales were made by my salesperson. So she's got a salesperson, too, and she's got herself on the phone, which is great. Today was my second Russ-style conversation ever, and my first Russ-style sale. It was so natural and fun. It was also intense and sobering and tender. To hear him share, to be there with him, to understand what he was saying and where he was coming from. Guys, that doesn't sound like a sales call to me, right? I mean, that sounds like they had real $32,213 in revenue this month, double our previous average and our best month ever by $10,000. Huge. And we're planning on a $50,000 month next month and the one after that. I literally feel that if we wanted to do $100,000 in the next 30 days, we could, but I just prefer to take it slower for some months while we get our bearings with the new program. There's no guessing. There's no hoping anymore. This is real. It's real life. I cannot believe I had any hesitation whatsoever in joining this program. I'm ecstatic and so grateful. Yes. Guys, we love to hear stuff like that. We never get tired of stuff like that. But look at what she's saying. You know, when's the last time you did a sales call and you would say it was intense and sobering and tender, where the person was sharing, the person was opening up, where the person, you really understood them and they really understood you. Guys, this is a totally different kind of training, and I hope that I've been able to communicate that to you in the course of this webinar, guys, that this is a whole other level. Let's look at some more. John said, I made $32,000 this week and $93,000 left. This is another one of our clients, Norbert. He's actually German, and he was able to go through the program. He said, hey, Russ and Mark, thank you very much for the great video about call structure. You really are the best at structuring complex things very easily. We made a new sales script based on Russ's system today. We tested it in 2 calls, and guess what happened? 2 calls, 2 sales. In the last 2 weeks, we enrolled 9 clients. Get this, guys, 9 clients for our 10,000 euro program. 10,000 euros. I don't even know how much that is in dollars. I think it's like 15 grand or something. They enrolled 9 clients in the 10,000 euro program, and in June they're going to Mallorca to do a live seminar with them. One more sale, and we hit the 100,000 euro per month goal. What seemed impossible in January is now so close. It's really like a dream come true, and we love them. And I just talked to them, and they told me that they've got a new mastermind they're rolling out. It's 100,000 euros. That's the price, and they've already gotten a few people to say yes, which is just awesome. I always thought that you just had to suffer through 100 calls until you got it right. This process is so powerful, it makes it so much easier. I now have a direction and a successful way to do it. Getting to the source of their problem and their pain gives them the reason to work with you. This info is golden, amazing. Thanks so much. And then Rapina, who we love, said, oh my God. 4 years of doing this work. I spent about 15 minutes at rapport, but then she was just so open, it flowed impeccably, and we had fun. Guys, it's a sales call where you have fun. You guys seeing that? I mean, my God. Before we learned this stuff, before we incorporated this stuff, sales calls were miserable. I hated them. We got people having fun on the call. Such a breath of fresh air. By the way, this client came through Groupon, a deal seeker that wasn't pre-qualified through an application. So I gingerly went with $5,000 with a $1,000 fast action discount. She didn't hesitate for a second. So grateful to Russ and Mark for this incredible training. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So guys, if you want to book a quick call with me, russrufino.com/sales. We'll jump on the phone for 10, 15 minutes, we'll get you enrolled, and we'll move forward from there. Okay, last one. This is Corona, who we love. Corona said, oh my God, guys, I did it. I enrolled another woman into my mastermind today at $20,000. That's 3 women now in the mastermind. 2 of those women were at 40% discount. This is the first woman today at $20,000. It was the easiest enrollment yet. God, did this really happen? I can't believe it. Now, we just talked to Corona today, actually. She's one of our Millionaire Alliance clients. And Corona's bumping the price for this mastermind to 40K. And it's going to be awesome, and she's going to get it. So I said, just another day at the office, Corona. Your gals love you. She said, haha, yes, I can't believe I made $20,000 today. Wow, thank you for seriously changing my life and my business. russrufino.com/sales. So guys, I hope you can see, I mean, you know, I had to pick these testimonials. We have so many of them, but I wanted to pick these ones because I feel like they show you the deep concern that our clients have for the people that they work with. You know, if you go into other sales trainings, it's like, oh man, I closed the door on that guy. It was freaking awesome. You know, the guy was, you know, giving me all these objections, and boom, you know, I got him. You know, that's not the way we talk about this stuff, and it's not the way our clients talk about this stuff. I think you can see from these testimonials that, like, these are real deep connections, real deep conversations, and that it was a good experience for everybody, and that the people who bought actually made the right decision and felt great about it. So this is a totally different way of doing this. No one else is teaching this, guys. So if you want to be a part of this, go to russrufino.com/sales. So that's the link, guys. Jump in. And right now, the 8-week program is $48.60. You get 8 weeks of training where we walk you through all this stuff, 8 weeks of in-depth Q&A and role-play calls, a one-on-one with me and my team. You get everything that you need to build this as a real skill. Not something that you get in your head, but something that's in your body, something that you can do anytime you want. And if you want to get the CEO upgrade, the price for that is $88.60, and that's where we show you exactly how we hire, train, manage, inspire, and lead our sales team. So all these processes and systems and stuff, guys, that just took me forever to figure out, we're just going to hand it to you so that you can build a sales team of your own, or if you've got a sales team now, so you can get them, moving in the right direction and really, really killing it. All right, guys, russruffino.com/sales. Book a quick call with me, and let's get you moving in the right direction, man. Let's get you closing some high-ticket offers. All right, Ryan, I see a ton of questions. Do you want to maybe give us a few of them while we're hanging out?
Sure. I think a lot of people ask just kind of how this compares to other people's coaching, Grant Cardone, some of the Tony Robbins coaching, that kind of stuff out there. Like, how would you compare it to?
Well, that's the big difference. Okay, like I'm not gonna trash talk anybody's program, of course. But the big difference is this. Everybody else's program has a lot of pushiness. Everybody else's program that we found has a lot of like fake alpha male energy. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's that like boiler room thing where you're pushing through these people. And really their processes are built around just not getting people to do what's in their best interests. Their processes are built around getting people to, pressuring them into the sale. That's not what we do. I don't want somebody to sign up for my program if it's not the right thing for them. I'm not going to enroll somebody into my program if they're not a fit. So all of our stuff, guys, is built around integrity. All of our stuff is built around delivering value. All of our stuff is built around creating a real connection with people. And you can see that in the testimonials. You can see that in the results that you get. You can see that in how happy our clients are. I mean, our refunds, our cancellations, they're non-existent. They just don't happen. So when you guys get in there, you'll see the difference, and it will be immediately obvious. Also, a lot of these other trainings don't really get into how to change your beliefs. Well, they might talk about it. You don't have someone like Jane who's going to actually work with you to do it. So this is a lot more hands-on.
All right, and it looks like, let's see, let's go back to some of these questions. See, that's about the, let's see here. Due to the high dollar amounts, would you say that this would be a high pressure offer? How do you prevent that from being the case?
No, it's not a high pressure. You either sign up or you don't. That's it. You either want to make this happen or you don't. If you want to make it happen, we can help you make it happen. If you don't, that's cool. There's no pressure. If you feel it's a fit for you and you want to make it work, then you can make it work. Look, if I was telling you how to do $5,000 to $50,000 sales and my program was $20, that'd be a huge red flag, wouldn't it? I mean, if I'm empowering you to make a $5,000 sale, this program better cost about that much, right? I mean, otherwise it's ridiculous. So if you want to be a part of this, the real cost is the cost of not knowing how to do this stuff,
Jay says, if I don't have my program in place yet, but I know my purpose and I know I want to reach people and impact them, the program will be the right fit for me.
Yeah, book a call with me and we can talk about that stuff. We also have other programs too. We have Clients on Demand. We have our Millionaire Alliance. So we have other programs that deal with different problems. So it could be that one of those is more right for you than this, but that's okay. Like, I'm only going to let you into this program if I know that it's right for you and I know it's what you need. And if it isn't what you need, I'm going to tell you, what will work for you. So go to russruffino.com/sales and let's talk.
Well, and also that's just a lot of questions up about what the difference between Clients on Demand and Sales on Demand is, the main difference.
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so Clients on Demand is all about creating and rolling out a high-ticket offer. So if you don't have a high-ticket offer, Clients on Demand is probably right for you. You can go in there. We'll help you create your offer. We'll help you create also a pipeline for getting consistently new leads and new clients in the door. So if you don't have a program, or if you do have a program but no one's reaching out to work with you, you probably need Clients on Demand. In which case, if you want to do that, you can book a 15-minute call with me too, and I can get you into Clients on Demand. We can just clarify that right away, just you and I. But Sales on Demand is if you do have something that people want and you are talking to people and you just need to be better at selling them. You need to be better at selling over the phone. So Sales on Demand is just about selling over the phone. Clients on Demand is more about generating those conversations, if that makes sense. Ryan, is Jane on the call right now?
I believe so, but I don't. There you are.
Hey, Jane, you want to say hi? And is there anything you want to add to this stuff, guys? This is Jane Jewell. This is the gal that I was telling you about. Bringing her on made a massive transformation in me and in my company and in our clients' results and in all that stuff.
Hello, everyone. I'm not sure where to start, but I will say hello, and if there's any questions that I can answer, I'm sure I'm happy to do that.
Awesome, you guys. Yeah, Jane is here. If you guys have any questions for her too, she's like our head mindset coach. She's the one that's the specialty in working out beliefs and figuring things out and making sure that everything inside you is congruent, everything inside you is aligned, so that if you're just getting people saying no and you don't know why, Jane can show you how to fix that.
A couple of questions that I did see come through, Russ, is people are asking, are we hiring?
Oh, great.
You might want to.
Yeah, that's a great question. As a matter of fact, yes. If you're interested in coming to work for us, guess what, guys? The best thing to do is go through this program. Because here's the deal. All of our clients are looking for salespeople, okay? We are looking for salespeople, but all of our clients want salespeople who are trained. Does that make sense? All of our clients want salespeople who know what they're doing. So one of the best investments that you can make in yourself as a salesperson is to jump on board with this training and come be a part of this and let us train you. And if you come in the program and we train you and you show up and you do a great job, and by the end of the program we feel like you're really kicking ass, then I have no problem either bringing you onto my team or referring you to one of our clients. Now, guys, my lowest paid salesperson brought in $16,000 last month, all right? And this is a position where these guys get to sit around, they get to be in their pajamas, they get to work from home, they take 4 or 5 calls a day, and they're making $16,000 a month, guys, which is like doctor money. I mean, that's doctor money. So I don't know another opportunity where you can earn that kind of a money as a salesperson, where there's no cold calling, there's no chasing people down, you get your calendar filled with leads every day, you call them, you do the calls, you make your sales, you make your money. Okay? So if you are a salesperson, come and join this program. In fact, one of the guys who's working for us now went through this program as a paying customer. He didn't work for me when we first rolled this out. He showed up, he said, Russ, this is awesome, I want to do this program. He did the program, he paid the money, and we hired him when it was over. So, I mean, I just got a message right before we got started from, my buddy Simon. He's like, dude, Russ, I need salespeople right now. I mean, we have so many people who need salespeople. Ryan, how many people in the Millionaire Alliance are asking us for salespeople right now?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. So it's like 20 people, guys. And they've all been trained by us, and they all have rock solid lead flow, and they have leads coming in every day, calls coming in every day, all that stuff. So, if you are a salesperson, it's like I would be all over that, because you want to work with someone who's been trained by me, and you want to be trained by me. Let's see, what other questions are coming up? Okay, there we go. Now I can see the questions. Have you got any testimonials? Yes, we have a ton of them. We just went through all of them. Debbie, my products aren't worth $5,000. Maybe a print would be worth $500 framed. Could I still do the sales program to learn about myself so I can see more of so I can sell more of my work? Debbie, yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, it's okay. If you're selling something for $500, this can still work for you. But I have a feeling that when you come in this program, you're going to get into a whole different sense of your own value. And I'd be very shocked if you're still selling. What if you're selling a financial product? Mike, this can work for you, but with a financial product, there's compliance things that you have to go through. So obviously these sales strategies will work for you. You just got to keep an eye on your compliance stuff, because that industry has certain, rules and things that you have to follow. But that's going to be the case with any sales training that you have to go through. So I'm just being honest and telling you that, that's something you got to pay attention to. Dave asks, do you encourage a multi-step follow-up process? Dave, we don't really even do follow-ups, man. I'm telling you, it's one and done. You get on the call, they're either ready to go or they're not. Okay? Someone's asking, where does the 8 weeks of training take place? Yeah, this whole training is online, guys. You can do it from home. It's something that we do online. We're going to come on to telecalls just like this one. We have videos. We have all that stuff, and it all happens online.
Hey, Russ, a couple people were also asking why the link goes specifically to your calendar and not a sales page. And I just wanted to let everyone know the reason that we're doing that is because we definitely want to have a conversation with you first to make
Guys,
sure
we
this
don't
is the right
generally
fit
let
for you.
anybody join our programs without talking to them first, because especially if you're going through a group workshop, if there's someone in there that's just not a fit, or there's someone in there that just doesn't belong there, I mean, like, look, you guys, we could totally send people to a sales page, but I want to talk to everybody first. I want to make sure we can help. I want to make sure you're a good fit for this. You know, like I said, our company is 100 million, 1,000 billion% about integrity. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you to make sure that we can help you. If we can't help you, I'm not going to let you in. And it's not, you know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with you. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean you're, you know, a bad person or anything. It just means we can't help. And I'm not going to take your money if we can't help. So I got to talk to you first. Okay. So the calendar is, you book an appointment on the calendar. It's going to be you and me, or you and Mark, but probably you and me, because Mark's busy. People are asking, what are the payment plans? Okay, so here's the deal. The Sales on Demand program, the 8-week program, is $4,860 if you want to pay all at once. If you want to break it up into 2 payments, you can chop it up into 2 payments of $2,600. Okay? The CEO program, which includes, you know, all the CEO upgrades and all that stuff, it's $8,860 if you want to pay all at once. If you want to break it up into payments, it's 3 payments of $3,300. Okay? Awesome. Yeah, guys, go to russrufino.com/sales. Just grab any appointment time that's available. We got some times actually tonight, I think, after this webinar. But then we've got some times tomorrow morning. We got some times Friday. But do this and do it quick, guys, because this program's going to fill up fast. Okay? A lot of these questions, guys, are things that I'll like. It's way better off if you just book a call with me and we can get into it. Just looking for any other sales. Lots of people booking appointments, guys. I'm seeing we got like, it looks like at least 25 appointments booked already. So if you want to grab a time, book them, because I mean, there's only one of me. I can only, you know what I mean? I can only talk to so many people, and I don't want to be talking to people all day for the next like 2 weeks. What other questions, Ryan? You see anything? Jane, you see anything? Just going through the questions now.
I think you covered most of the ones that would apply to everybody.
Are the ones in the answered column, are those actually answered, or?
Some of them were, yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to find where to look to see the questions. Yeah, guys, look. This stuff has doubled my business, guys. If you had gone back in a time machine and you came out of your DeLorean 2 years ago and you said, Russ, guess what? In July of 2016, you're going to have a $500,000 month. I would have punched you in the face. I never would have believed that was possible. I would have thought, well, if I'm going to have a $500,000 month, that must mean we're spending $400,000 on advertising. And that's not what's happening, guys. We're spending about $35K a month on ads, and we're making about $500,000 back. And the only reason we're doing that is because our sales process is so strong, and you know, our clients are happy and everybody's winning, and it's a fantastic, fantastic thing. I mean, I really feel like we've created something beautiful, and what I want to do in this training is give it to you. Just give it to you. Show you exactly how we did it, exactly how we put it together, exactly how the pieces fit together. And, you know, look, as far as I know, there's nobody that's doing this on the level that we're doing it. So by jumping into our thing, you know, you're really taking a huge shortcut where figuring this stuff out from scratch might take you years. It's going to take you a lot less than that. Okay, with our help. If you have any other questions, guys, just jump in and type them in the chat. Mike is asking, do you help people get clear on their offer? Mike, yes, we do. But book a call with me, man, because Clients on Demand might be a better fit for you. We'll see. Yeah, guys. So those of you guys that are curious, if you're like, you know, if you're curious about whether Clients on Demand is a fit or Sales on Demand is a fit, just book a call. You know, well, we'll talk you through it. I promise I'm not going to let you sign up for this if this isn't what you need. We just don't do that stuff. Because then you're going to be unhappy, and I'm going to be unhappy, and everyone's going to be unhappy, and that's not what we want. I want you guys to be like everybody else who went through this program the first time, like loved it, they rave about it. They think it's the best training they've ever had. They think it's a no-brainer, so it's good stuff. Just looking through the rest of these questions here. I'm a photographer. Is this right for me? Yes, it is, guys. If you're selling any kind of service, this is right for you too. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to have an online program. If you're selling a service, like I don't care if you're an accountant and you're doing people's taxes and people call you up and you have to have a conversation with them about whether you're going to do their taxes, this is for you. Okay? Yeah, guys, if you have questions, just jump on. I mean, if you're like 99% sure you want to do this, but you just have a couple questions, just book a call with me, man. I'll take you through it. I'll answer your questions, and that's it. We'll deal with it. Daytime duration of classes, please. It's an 8-week program, and the live calls happen on Fridays, and they usually go like a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half. Okay. Tony's asking, I reach out and cold call clients. Tony, this will work for you, but you know what, man? We should definitely talk because there's a better way. Reaching out and cold calling clients is like miserable. The process that we use in Clients on Demand will save you from having to do that. And so Clients on Demand will totally take your lead flow so that people are coming to you and you're not chasing them. And then also will revolutionize your sales process too. Gus is asking, will this work for a software as a service startup with no revenue? Repostable.com. Well, Gus, I'd say if you've got no revenue, we better do something, right? What is the budget needed for clients to be fully effective with the program? Coach is asking this. Coach, there is no budget. I mean, this is for people that are doing sales conversations right now, but are they're just not going well. They're not working. They could be going better. If that's you, this is right for you. If you don't have anybody to talk to and you don't have any clients and there's nobody reaching out to work with you, then you probably need Clients on Demand. That's what that program is about. You guys clear on the difference? Clients on Demand is mostly about generating new clients from scratch. Like, how do you get them from Facebook? How do you, create a steady pipeline of new business? This course is just about how to close over the phone. So if you're already talking to people, this is for you. If you're not talking to anybody, then you probably need Clients on Demand. But what I want you to do is just book a call with me, and I'll walk you through it. I am going to be so busy the next few days, Ryan. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have like 40 calls booked. This is like the worst. This is like the worst idea I've ever had, talking to everybody myself, but we're going to do it. Ryan, Julian needs a call slot for Monday. Do you want to, let me see if I can get it. Can you maybe open up my hours a little bit on Monday, or do we not open?
If you want me to open up Monday, I can open up Monday.
Monday's not open? I mean, is everything pretty full? I mean, it looks like we're getting pretty full here.
Yeah, but I think we only have you booked through the weekend.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you can open up Monday, man. That's cool. Just make sure, we have our Q&A call and everything Monday. I don't want to miss any stuff for current clients. Okay. All right, guys, book your spot now, man. They are filling up fast. russrufino.com/sales. This is crazy. We're going to have to open another day. Yeah, guys, so listen, book a call if you're 99% sure you want to do this. You're like, Russ, I love this. I want to work with you. I'm just not, should do Sales on Demand or I should do the CEO program, or like I'm in and I just have a couple calls, whatever it is, just book a call, Don't book a call if you're like, oh, cool, I get to talk to Russ, okay? And when you guys book a call, Chris is asking, do I call you or do you call me? Chris, I call you. So when you book the appointment, you'll see there's a place to put your phone number and all that stuff. I'll call you at the appointment time that you pick. Okay?
Please put in the accurate information.
Yes, put in the accurate phone number, because if that phone number is wrong, it's not going to work. Anonymous viewer is asking, are you going to be doing another 8-week session in the future? The God's honest truth is I don't know. I really don't know. So if you want to be a part of this, jump on now. If you guys have a high ticket offer, or if you want to put together a high ticket offer, then I mean, like $48.60 is a really low investment. And my team actually wanted me to make it more expensive. My team wanted me to make it about double that. But I know that this is needed by you guys. I know it's needed in the marketplace. Veronica is away through Sunday. Well, Veronica, we're going to open up Monday, so you want to book a call on Monday? And we can talk Monday. Cool? Brian, is Monday open yet?
It will be in a few seconds, and also some slots after. after this
That's
call.
Ryan's opening up some slots tonight, so I guess it's going to be a late night for me. So maybe, Veronica, we can talk tonight or we can talk Monday. But just refresh the calendar in just a minute so you can grab your appointment, okay?